In today's class, we will start the topic perspectives on teaching English in India. Okay, if you say in India, it's not wrong, but when you have written perspectives on teaching English in independent India, it means, first of all, it means how you see English. Perspective means how you see English or way of seeing English or the way you look at something. Understood? What is the meaning of perspective? Perspective means the way you look at something. When you perspective on teaching English in India means the way or your way of looking at English in independent India. Understood? In independent India. Is that clear? And now, if I say what is the basic difference between perspective on teaching English in India, when you say perspective on teaching English in India, you say that the way the rulers who ruled us for 200 years looked at the use of English language for all Indians, okay, including some who are from like outside the territory of India. There were other states that came in close contact with us, especially China, and I must not talk about that. It's a very big thing altogether. And now, when you teach, when you understand, when you try to understand the topic perspectives on teaching English in independent India, it means your way of looking at English language, understood, or the teaching of English language, or the way you look at the use of English language in independent India. Now, you may have a question. You may ask me a question like, sir, on 15th August 1947, when India got her independence, we have seen the Indians using, or we saw Indians using English language. That was the language of our ruler. Understood? And at that time it was acceptable to us because it was ruler's language. When the people who ruled us spoke in English, understood, they wanted us to speak their language for good governance because they needed people in their administration, they needed people in their judiciary, they needed people in different affairs. Even the different departments, different branches of the government during British rule needed English knowing or English speaking people. As a result, they made proper use of English language to educate the Indians with the knowledge of their language and to make the Indians understand English. The first thing that they did, when you look at perspective on teaching in English in India, you have to look at that period also. India before 1600. India before 1600 did not speak English. India before 1600 did not know English. At that time, Arabic, then Sanskrit, clear? Arabic, Sanskrit and Persian were spoken. At that time, India was not as united as it is today. At that time, all the states did not communicate with each other like or one another like they are doing today. It is because if a Bengali person wants to speak to a Tamil today, can speak it because he doesn't have problem. Why? He uses English as a link language. He they talk to one another without any problem. Understood? But at that time, it was quite difficult. When many states in India spoke different languages and there was no link language, at that time it was very clear that they did not have a strong unity among themselves like India of today has. Understood? At that time there was no unanimity about any issues. When English entered India, English began to be spoken all over the country. With the passage of time, English found it important to give importance to the use of English language, excessive use of English language by the Indians. When they will do it, India will be under their control. They understood it very well. And that is how, though they entered India as traders, naturally, as India was very easy for them to take under their control, as India was as there were no unanimity, union or unity among Indians or Indian states, they found it very easy to conquer India. Due to the fact that nobody stood by Alivadi Khan, Shirajud-Daulah, they found it easy to defeat him in the Battle of Palasi and Buxar in 1757. They found it very easy because other states were not ready to help either Alivadi Khan or Shirajud-Daulah. Then they won the Battle of Buxar also. Naturally, they tried to control entire India. They began to control entire India. And after that, in 1813, Queen Elizabeth or the government of Britain or government of England passed in their parliament what? The Charter Act of 1813. According to that act, India was given money for expansion of English education in India. As a result, there was a man, his name was Charles Babington Macaulay. He studied the schools, the system of education of that time in India. They went to different places in India and they saw schools, madrasas, understood. They were the medium of instructions. They used the medium of instructions was either Sanskrit or Persian or Arabic, which was not doing them good. All-round development was not done. The students did not benefit from the education imparted at Toll, madrasas, understood. Naturally, they found it important to give the Indians, they wanted to replace the old education system of India with modern education. And that modern education is called Western education or English education. Clear? So, Macaulay's Minute decided that this schools will be set up, and besides that, the missionaries were told to set up schools all over India. And the school was set up. And then, after that, in 1854, 3 universities, University of Calcutta, University of Bombay and University of Madras were set up. Why was this set up? For the expansion of English education in India. And universities generally impart or give higher education. Clear? Naturally, who benefited? Indians. Clear? Indians benefited. Got it? After that, It was Wood Dispatch. Wood's Dispatch was beneficial, was another milestone for the expansion of education in India. What was that? It was Charles Wood who actually expanded education in India. Got it? After that, in 1882, 1882, there was a commission called Hunter Commission. Hunter Commission was in 1882. It talked about the opening primary schools, and it also talked about the importance of giving primary education to all Indian children. And that was why primary schools were set up. And the primary education was also decided to be imparted to all the Indian children through the vernacular languages, through the regional languages of India. Understood? And that was how everything began to expand. But when in 1904, it was Lord Curzon who tried to reform university education. He said universities were under the government of under British government. Naturally, there is control. They tried to exercise complete control over the universities because universities began to function as the breeding ground of the freedom fighters, and naturally it was necessary to exercise control over there. So, to strengthen the control of the government over the universities, they passed that particular act. Got it? University, he reformed the university. Clear? After that, after that act, another act, it was, it was also, there was another act, it was in 1917 to 1919. Understood? And this act also helped the expansion of education in India. Then another act in 1929 came into force. It was done for the expansion of education and for shaping, understood, the Western education or English education in India. And after that, according to Gandhiji, advocated for the spread of education, English education in India, and also expansion of secondary as well as primary education. He also recommended opening primary schools, secondary schools, and that's why Wardha Commission was set up, and it was in 1937. In 1937. Then after 1937, then again something was done. India got her independence on 15th August 1947. In 1949, in 1951 to 52, there was a commission, and that was Radhakrishna Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan Commission, and he reformed the education, university education. Clear? And during this period, he advocated or emphasized the use of English language for higher studies, for research in the universities. Clear? All over India. After that, it was in 19 uh, 49 to 50 or 41 to 42. It was in 49 to 50, okay, that University Commission. And after that, in 1952 to 50, in 51 to 52, there was another commission, it was Mudaliar Commission. Mudaliar Commission, reformed the, you know, what is what is that? Secondary education. Mudaliar Commission reformed secondary education in India and also recommended setting up more schools, more teachers training colleges. Clear? Mudaliar Commission. After Mudaliar Commission, in 1964 to 1964
Received 11 rupees on Paytm.
1964 to 1966, there was Kothari Commission. Daulat Singh Kothari. Daulat Singh Kothari, gave importance not only to primary education, secondary education, and higher education. And another very important thing that he did was, it was 3-language formula. It was 3-language formula. Clear? Daulat Singh Kothari. And it was 1964 to 1966. Got it? And according to that commission, India got 3-language formula. According to 3-language formula, India had to learn, Indian state had to learn their own regional language. Apart from regional language, they have to either learn an Indian language, that may be either Hindi or Sanskrit, and it was necessary to learn the linked language, that is English. Because at that time also, you cannot do anything without the knowledge of English language. Because see, if you think India is a garden and all the languages are flowers, there is one language called English, that is linked language, and English language helps the communication among all the flowers in the garden called India. Understood? It is because of the presence of English language, other states, as English is playing the important role of a linked language, naturally the other states in India would communicate among themselves using English language. Even the government departments also function well under a linked language called English. Though English left us, but their language still prevails. Their language still rules us long after they leave. Because we cannot deny the good of English language. It is because English language has become an inseparable part of Indians, Indian culture, understood, and Indian way of life. Indians cannot imagine a strong India without the language called English, without the linked language called English. Is that clear? Have you understood? So, English is very important. Even today, if you think of higher studies, if you go for higher studies, is it possible for you to do higher studies without the knowledge of English? If you go to universities outside India, if you want to do, your PhD, your research, your MA, your MSc, your MCom, your MBA, clear? Without English, and even if you do engineering or medical, you need the knowledge of English language. Because English language is a key to knowledge of the world. But knowledge of Indian language is a key to Indian culture. If I have proper knowledge of Bengali language, my language is a key to our culture, our custom, our society. It tells us everything. But when you have knowledge of English language, it is key to the knowledge of the world. Got it? Through English, everything is possible. When nothing is impossible to reach, then you must think of depending on English only. Is that clear? Now, my question is, when you have done prospective on teaching English in independent India, you may have some questions. Sir, how did we see the changes? Actually, all the commissions and committees, understood, from the one in 1813 to the ones that is on 2020. On 2020, which education policy have we got? NEP, National Education Policy. That is on 2020. 2020, we have got our education policy, and according to that policy, the children must be given information about CLE, means it is knowledge of English language. You need to be given knowledge of listening, reading, writing and speaking. Clear? And without the knowledge of this, you cannot meet the demands of change times. Clear? Then we have all the commissions. I have already mentioned all those commissions. And the modern ones are, what are the modern ones? Modern ones are National Policy on Education. It also was, it was in 1986, National Policy on Education. It was in 1986. And National Education Policy is in 2020. And now in schools we follow National Education. You have got semester system, no? Why? It is only because of National Policy on Education, that is 2020. It's a part. Earlier people could do 2 years graduation, 3 years graduation. Now you are doing 4 years graduation. Is that clear? It's only because of that. Clear? So we have, during this period, English has changed. Clear? And that is, it is called your perspective. Perspective means the way we see or look at English. And it is really impossible to imagine our life without English language in modern India, because if India is number one today, it is because of the presence of English language in India. It is because of the fact that English language has become a part and parcel of Indians living all over the world. India, if India is doing well in almost every field, the credit goes to the excessive use of Indian English language by the Indians. Got it? So I hope you have benefited from my class on perspective on teaching English in India. I am sure that you have understood the topic, and I am sure that you can write the answers to all the questions. And if you find it important to ask me any questions, I am ready to help you. Do you have any questions? I hope as you have understood the topic very well, as you have given informations about ins and outs of the topic, as you have been told everything about the topic, naturally you will feel free to write the answers to any questions. Is that clear? So, With this, I come to the end of this class. And if you think that my class on perspectives on teaching English in independent India benefited you, give me at least one like. Bye. Now I want to tell you